Let me start with a question I hear all the time in my clinic, but almost never in a clear, confident voice. What actually happens to your body when you ejaculate every single day after 60? Not once in a while. Not occasionally. Every single day. Does it help you stay healthy? Does it quietly drain your energy? Does it protect your prostate or irritate it? Does it affect your hormones, your mood, your motivation? If you're a man over 60 and you've wondered about this, even privately, even just once, I want you to know something right away. You are not strange for asking. You are not weak. You are not inappropriate. You are human, and you deserve an honest answer. I'm Dr. Elena Martinez, a urologist who has spent the last decade working with men who want to age with dignity and confidence, not confusion and shame. And today I want to talk to you the same way I talk to my patients. When the door is closed, the pressure is gone, and honesty finally shows up. Not as a lecture, not as a warning, as a conversation between two adults who respect the body and the years it has carried us through. Before we go any further, if you appreciate honest conversations like this, do me a favor and hit the like button. It helps more men find this video. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I genuinely enjoy reading every single one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this channel exists for exactly the conversations most doctors never have time to finish. All right, let's talk about what daily ejaculation really does to the male body after 60. Here's the problem most men run into. They've been fed extreme advice their entire lives. One side says do it as much as possible. It's healthy. It protects the prostate. It keeps testosterone flowing. The other side says you're draining yourself. Slow down. Conserve your energy. Act your age. And neither side tells you the full truth. So let me clear the fog first. Daily ejaculation is not automatically good. It's not automatically harmful. What matters, and this is what nobody tells men, is how your specific body responds. Physically, emotionally, hormonally. Let me explain what actually happens inside your body when ejaculation occurs. Your brain releases dopamine, the motivation and pleasure chemical. You get oxytocin, which promotes calm and connection. Endorphins reduce stress. And afterward, prolactin rises, creating that relaxed, settled feeling most men recognize immediately. Your heart rate increases slightly. Blood flows through vessels that don't always get that level of activity. Your pelvic muscles contract and release. Your prostate empties stored fluid. All of this is normal. All of this can be healthy. In fact, for many men, regular sexual activity supports circulation, reduces stress, improves sleep quality, and maintains prostate function over time. The research on this is clear and consistent. But, and this is where age genuinely matters, recovery changes after 60. Testosterone levels are naturally lower. Muscle recovery slows down. The nervous system becomes more sensitive. Energy reserves take longer to refill. So if ejaculation happens too frequently without adequate recovery, the body starts sending signals. Not shame signals. Not moral signals. Biological signals. Fatigue. Brain fog. Irritability. Lower motivation. Pelvic discomfort. Changes in urinary flow. These are not punishments. They are information. And the men who learn to read that information instead of judging themselves for it, those are the men who age with the most confidence and the most peace. I want to tell you about two men I see regularly in my practice, both in their mid-60s, both ejaculating almost daily. The first man tells me he feels great. He sleeps well. He wakes up calm and clear. His energy is steady throughout the day. No discomfort. No urinary changes. For him, daily activity is simply part of a healthy life. His body handles it well and tells him so. The second man has the exact same frequency, but a completely different story. He feels drained afterward, less motivated, pelvic tightness that lingers, more trips to the bathroom at night, same habit, entirely different outcome. So I asked him the most important question I know how to ask. How do you feel afterward? Not immediately, but hours later, the next morning, 2 days later. That is where the truth always shows up. There is no universal rule, no magic number, no moral line every man must stand behind. There is only feedback from your own body. And when men learn to listen to that feedback, instead of following rules written by people who have never met them, everything changes. Does any of this sound familiar so far? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Now let me walk you through the 5 most important things I see men over 60 get wrong when it comes to daily ejaculation. Stay with me, because the last one has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with something most men carry quietly for decades. Number 5. Confusing habit with desire. This one is subtle, but it matters enormously. True desire comes from the body, from hormones, from genuine arousal, from emotional connection or readiness. Habit comes from routine, from boredom, from stress relief, from the simple fact that it happened yesterday, so it happens today. When sexual activity becomes automatic, when it happens on schedule rather than from actual desire, the dopamine response slowly dulls. The brain starts expecting stimulation rather than responding to it. And what once felt satisfying starts feeling empty. Not because anything is broken, because the signal has become noise. The solution is surprisingly simple. Pause occasionally. Let desire return naturally. Give your body space to actually want something before you give it everything. Number 4. Using ejaculation to manage stress or loneliness. Many men don't realize this shift has happened. It happens gradually, quietly. Instead of connection or genuine desire, the behavior becomes a coping tool. Dopamine temporarily masks stress, but never resolves it. Over time, satisfaction drops, frequency increases, and a quiet guilt starts building underneath everything. If you recognize this, I want you to hear me say clearly, there is no judgment here. Only a question worth asking. What do I actually need right now? Sometimes the body wants rest. Sometimes the heart wants connection. Sometimes the mind wants purpose. And ejaculation, as helpful as it can be, cannot give you any of those things on its own. Number 3. Ignoring prostate feedback. Yes, regular ejaculation supports prostate health for most men. But more is not always better, especially when there is already some enlargement or inflammation present. Daily stimulation can irritate a gland that is already sensitive. The prostate needs time to refill and calm between cycles. For many men I work with, 2 to 4 times per week turns out to be the frequency where the body feels best, not daily, not rarely, but consistently in that range. If you're noticing urinary symptoms, pelvic pressure, or discomfort, your prostate may be asking for a little more recovery time between sessions. Listen to it. For the men asking about additional natural support, I've left something in the description specifically for men over 60 dealing with exactly these kinds of changes. Worth a look before you scroll past it. Number 2. Overworking the pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is a group of muscles. Not a switch, not a limitless resource. Daily contraction without adequate recovery can cause tightness, reduce sensation, and weaken control over time. The same muscles that support ejaculation also support urinary control, posture, and core stability. Rest days matter. Gentle strengthening matters. For men over 60, pelvic floor health is one of the most underappreciated parts of sexual and urinary well-being, and one of the most responsive to simple, consistent attention. Number 1, and this is the one I want you to sit with for a moment. Letting shame and old beliefs run the show. This is the most damaging thing I see in men over 60. Not frequency, not biology. Shame. Shame increases stress. Stress lowers testosterone. Lower testosterone affects mood, energy, desire, and confidence. And then men feel worse about themselves, which increases shame, which increases stress. It is a cycle that has nothing to do with how often you ejaculate, and everything to do with what you believe about yourself for wanting to. There is nothing wrong with desire at any age. Nothing. Your body's interest in intimacy, in pleasure, in connection, that is not a problem to be managed. That is vitality expressing itself. And vitality, at any age, deserves respect. Here is what I want you to take away from today. Track how you feel afterward, not immediately, but truly afterward. Adjust your frequency based on that feedback, not based on rules. Support recovery with sleep, hydration, and nutrition. Give your pelvic floor the rest and gentle strengthening it needs. And release the shame. It harms you far more than any habit ever could. If what I described today sounds familiar, that link in the description was put together specifically for men over 60 navigating exactly these changes. A lot of men your age found it at exactly the right moment. I want to say something clearly before I go, and I want you to hear it without any filter. If you've felt confused about this, if you've wondered whether something was wrong with you, if you felt embarrassed even thinking about asking the question we started with today, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are aging and adapting. And adaptation, when you understand it, becomes power. I've seen men in their 70s rediscover comfort, confidence, and genuine peace, simply by listening to their bodies instead of fighting them. Aging is not the end of vitality. It is the beginning of wisdom. Tell me in the comments, how long have you been carrying questions like this one without having anywhere honest to bring them? Just a word or two. I read everything. If this conversation helped you, hit like, it helps other men find this. Subscribe so we can keep having the conversations most doctors never finish. And share this with a man you know who deserves honest answers. I'm Dr. Elena Martinez, and I'm here to remind you, your best years are not behind you. They are built one informed, respectful choice at a time. Take care of yourself. You are worth it.